Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing the timing belt on this 200 Yamaha. I take off the bolts here. There's three of them in there. There's two right there. I'm showing you right there. That's the two there, and there's one in the middle right behind that hook. You take those off, and then you can pull off your top of your cover on the flywheel there, the plastic, and throw that aside. Now that exposes your flywheel, and we can get going. Alright, so next we gotta put the motor to number one top dead center, so line it up there, and then when we go to our heads, there's a mark on your timing gear there, and one on the head. You gotta line those up on each side so it looks like that, and make sure that you're at number one top dead center on the flywheel there, and then you're good to lock your motor into place there and pull it apart. Alright, so next take a 36mm socket. I've already cracked this loose. You'll probably want an impact to do it or something, which is a lot easier than prying it and having your engine turned. So I've already cracked it loose. And then pull that off, your flywheel nut, and we're on to the next step of trying to pull the flywheel with a puller. Alright, so next put your flywheel puller on. And I had a tremendous amount of pressure on mine and it still wouldn't pop, so I gave it some slight taps and you'll see it pop here on this next hit right here. There, it popped off. And then undo your puller, and you can start to once you have that undone, you can pull that off and then start to pry up on your head. It'll take on your flywheel, sorry. It'll take a bit of pulling because you got your all your magnets under there on your stator, and it'll be reacting with your flywheel, so it might take a little bit of a tap or some jimmying to get it off it, and it might lock down on the taper in there again, so if you're not careful. So just give it a little bit of a whack with a hammer or something, and it'll help you pull it off. Here you can see I'm jiggling with it and struggling, and you just tap it with a hammer to loosen it off that taper again, and then you fight the magnets here and pull it up. So once we got that off, we'll get to our next step of removing all your electronics underneath the flywheel. Alright, so next take your flathead or a big Phillips. I prefer the flathead. I found I got a lot more bite on it. There's 4 screws in the middle of your stator. As you can see, they were on pretty tight there, and I finally cracked them. So pull those 4 screws off, and you can pull off your stator, and then just what I do is just flip it to the side, and then you're on to pulling off your timer base. Alright, so take off your timer base by using a 10mm socket on a wrench, or on your ratchet, and take out those 4 bolts, and then once you have that off, we'll just flip those to the side. Alright, so here you can see that I just flipped the stator to the side. You can just hang it over that oil filler neck there, it balances it nice there. Flip your timer base up, it locks in kind of nice there, and just be careful that it doesn't move. You don't have to disconnect any of that then. And then you can get to pulling off your hose there, and just flip that to the side right now, and then we'll get on to pulling the rest of the wiring apart. You got 2 10mm bolts that you're going to want to loosen so you can get to your tensioner, actually pull those right out. Alright, so now you can see you can get to your tensioner there, but there's just one pesky wire that's going to interfere with everything. So you got to go down here and pull off all your coils there, your plugs there, and then there's 2 wires going to each side. They just run to terminator plugs, one to the left there, one to the right, and you got to pull those out, and then once that's done, you unhook all those and pull it up through so you can get your timing belt off. So next, mark your belt. I chose to mark it right on the lines on the heads there. You got to mark each cam gear there. Then to the front, do this before you loosen it off. I already had the belt loosened, but I did 3 marks. One right there, you can see that it lines up there, one on the front and one on the side, so then you can know where your belt was. So next we're doing our tensioner, and you'll find it a little bit tricky if you've never done one of these, but it's a hydraulic tensioner. So as normal, what I'm used to is spring-loaded tensioner, but anyways, you have to put your, I think it's a 10mm Allen key in there, and you just slowly twist, and it'll slowly push the pressure back into that little piston that's in there, and it'll allow you to slowly back off that tensioner. But it's not like a normal one with spring-loaded one. So once you get it past, you can see that square hole in there. You take a small Allen key, it's somewhere around a 5 millimeter, anything that'll fit. You get it all the way across there until you'll feel it bottom out, but you gotta just slowly put pressure on it and you'll feel it move. Throw your Allen key in there and it'll lock it into place. So next, set your old timing belt on top of your new one and trace your marks out. Be sure the cogs are lined up, all your marks are lined up perfectly, because they got to be dead on, because if your belt's slacked off you won't get those cogs on right. So anyways, make your marks, trace them out, make sure the writing is upwards on your belt as you would install it, because that's the way you want it, and then just do whatever you can to make sure those marks are precisely traced over to the next one, and you're good to start throwing that thing back on. Alright, so as you can see here, I lined up my marks right there on the cam gears. There's my lines. You go up front on your crank there. 1, 2, 3, all those marks are lined up. Alright, so as you can see, my belt's back on. I actually had to loosen the tensioner bolt that holds it on. Put the belt on straight because the belt's on an angle, trying to get it over the tensioner. It's so tight. Bolt it back on, then undo the Allen key, or pull the Allen key out, and then let it put tension on. That's the only way that I could get that belt to go on nicely and get my timing marks to line up. Alright, as always, thanks again for watching. I hope this video helped you change the timing belt on your Yamaha 200. If you liked the voiceover, please comment and let me know if you liked it or not. I feel that it's a lot more informative and I can really point out a lot more stuff in the videos rather than me talking the whole time as I'm filming. So if you liked it, please give me a comment and let me know if I should do some more of these voiceovers or not. So thanks again, and please give me a rate and a subscribe if you like this video, and I really do hope it helped you out and gets you back on the water quick and easy. Thanks again, guys.